Have you ever felt tired, lethargic, grumpy, angry, stressed, annoyed? What do you do about it? A lot of people drink, smoke, take drugs, gamble, eat food to try and feel better if they're having a bad day. All of that changes your brain chemistry. So if you eat, if you smoke, if you drink, if you gamble, things change inside your brain. But nothing changes your brain chemistry quicker than getting puffed. It's called the fight and flight system. The human body's designed to stay alive if you're under stress, if you're under threat, if you're angry, if you're annoyed. Your body says, we've got to get out of here. So you either can flight, you can run, or you can fight. And your body gives you all the chemistry, all the brain chemicals to be able to do that. So you produce epinephrine, adrenaline, cortisol so that you can go. You have increased blood sugar levels, increased blood pressure, increased heart rate, and you can do all the things that you need to do so that you can fight the threat or run away from the threat. But most people don't choose that. Most people, when they're stressed or they're angry, they don't choose to get puffed or lift heavy or to run away or to fight. They take drugs, they eat food, they gamble, they smoke. And of course, all of those things have horrible side effects. The side effect of getting puffed and lifting heavy, fighting and flighting, is that you get fit and you get strong, which means when you're under threat, you can handle the situation better because you're stronger and fitter. But of course, that's all a choice. And one of the really interesting things that I deal with every day, because I've been an exercise professional all of my life, and I literally bang on about getting puffed and lifting heavy every single day to everybody that I come in contact with, because that's what I do. I've got a college that teaches people the skills, tools, and knowledge to be able to help people to be healthy, fit, and strong. And yet humans choose, it's easier, I think, to eat food, to smoke, to drink, to gamble, to take drugs, antidepressant, pharmaceutical drugs, or recreational drugs. It's easier to do all of that, to try and get happy, to try and get rid of stress, than it is to get puffed and to lift heavy. But when you do get puffed and get fit, when you do lift heavy and you get strong, not only do you have the ability to handle life better, so you're mentally tougher, physically fit, so you can go and do all the things that you want to do, but you can think more clearly, you're more creative, you've got better self-esteem and self-confidence, you can fight germs, bugs, viruses, and diseases so you don't get sick. You've got a fast metabolism so you don't get fat. There's all the side effects of being fit and strong are so different than the side effects of taking pharmaceutical or recreational drugs, of getting drunk or gambling. But that's a choice. And that's one of the things that I find very perplexing, and one of the reasons why I punch the bag on a regular basis. Because I deal with people every day who whinge, moan, and complain about their terrible life. And yet when things are going terribly, they drink, they smoke, they take drugs, they gamble, rather than going getting puffed and lifting heavy. And the interesting thing is the biggest excuse that people use for not exercising is that it takes too long, I don't have time. And yet I reckon it takes time to gamble, it takes time to smoke, it takes time to drink, it takes time to take drugs. And the time it takes to get fit and strong, and this is where there seems to be a disconnect. Because a lot of people think to get fit and to get strong, you have to go to the gym for hours and hours, or you have to do at least 30 minutes, or you have to do 10,000 steps, or you have to go to the gym 3 times a week and do 3 sets of 10. And of course, that's not the case. And that's what I do every day. Being fit is getting puffed. Being strong is overloading your muscles and bones. Doing that in the fight and flight energy system is the phosphate system, which is only 10 seconds. I'm going to say that again. 10 seconds of punching, which is what I just did. 10 seconds of skipping. 10 seconds of doing anything at 100% effort changes your brain chemistry so you can think more clearly. You can be more creative. You can be a happy person. But that's a choice. And if you're grumpy, miserable, angry, stressed, depressed, and life is not going well, you could do any of the things that most people do, smoke, drink, gamble, take drugs, or you could get puffed, lift heavy, or a combination of both. Change your brain chemistry and turn your body into a fat-burning, high self-esteem, disease-fighting, happy machine. That's a choice. So I'm challenging you, of course, because as an adult, I don't want our kids to think that the only way to be happy is to take drugs, to drink, to gamble, to smoke, I would like our kids to know that if they're under stress, if they're under pressure, if life isn't going the way they want it to go, that they could get puff, lift heavy and change their brain chemistry. But that's a choice. Our kids might not know they've got that choice. As adults, I would love us all to know that we've got that choice, and we need to make the choice. So and I'm an old lady, and every time I get stressed and every time I'm under pressure and every time life is not going the way I want it to go, I come and punch the bag, or I skip rope, or I go flat out on the cross trainer, or I do jump squats, or I sprint on the spot. I do something for 10 seconds to change my brain chemistry. And I get accused every day of being a ridiculously happy person. Rowie, you can't be happy all the time. Well, yes, you can, because if you're miserable, grumpy and depressed and then you go fight and flight, you will change your brain chemistry. And you can't be a grumpy person when you've got a brain full of dopamine, serotonin, brain-derived neurotropic factor, endorphins, which is what happens after you fight and flight. So your body gives you all the chemicals that you need to fight or flight, and I think that fighting is better than flighting, which is why I prefer to punch the bag than do anything. Because surely the common sense says if you are under threat and you turn and kill the threat, if you overcome the threat by fighting it, there's got to be a great brain chemistry change. But after you overcome any threat, whether you run away from it or you kill it, now your brain produces all the happy drugs that people are trying to get from smoking, drinking, gambling and taking drugs, which is dopamine, serotonin, satisfaction neurochemistry. That's the serotonin is the thing that people take when they take antidepressant drugs. They think they're going to change the serotonin levels of their brain, so they're going to feel better. We only have to talk to people that have been on serotonin style antidepressants. And unfortunately, one of the big side effects of that particular drug is suicidal tendencies. Surely that's a question you need to ask. If a doctor puts you on a mind-altering drug, surely you want to find out what the side effect is. If the side effect is, I'm going to feel like killing myself, there's got to be something wrong with that. If you fight and flight, if you punch the bag, if you kick the bag, if you do push-ups, if you overload your muscles and bones at 100% effort, you now have a brain full of chemistry or chemicals that create happy chemistry, and you feel fantastic. But I'm going to share that again, that's a choice. You can take drugs, you can drink, you can smoke, you can gamble, or you can get puffed and lift heavy. One of them has, a group of them have horrible side effects. Getting fit and strong has the ultimate side effect, which is you feel good. You feel happy, and you can be happy every single day. And even if I'm grumpy and miserable and angry, if I come and punch the bag, I immediately change my brain chemistry. So I go from a grumpy person to a happy person. So I can be happy every single day. That's a choice. What will you choose?